Hello, guys. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Today, our story from the user Ansvalvayas, and it is called My Wife of 6 Years, 28F, realized she is having an emotional affair with a coworker. She ended it, but NC is not possible right now. I, 34M, came to the realization that our marriage is kind of an illusion she has been making because she loves me. How should I continue with my life? Story. I have so many mixed feelings, I don't even know where to start. Sorry if my writing comes through as a ramble. Up to this point, I thought that our relationship, even though it had its ups and downs, did not have any fundamental flaws, but now I have some serious doubts. She told me she just came to the realization a few weeks ago that she is having an emotional affair with her coworker, 45 years old divorced male. This is in itself absurd between, and that this is unacceptable. And she has to stop. At first, she was not sure if she should tell me. She thought maybe she was going to handle this by herself because she did not want to hurt me. But since she was behaving so differently, I confronted her, and then she opened up. I'm almost sure nothing physical has happened. They weren't even flirting. It was just a vibe that made both of them feel very understood, appreciated, and happy while being together. I know about a few occasions when they went out together after work just to chat. They talked about it, and they both have feelings towards each other, but agreed that this is not okay in this situation. She said she felt something that is on another level, something that she never got from me. I told her I want to see all their communications on Messenger, but this is not possible because she deleted it due to shame. I know this would be generally a red flag, but we both have above average intelligence, are mentally stable, and 99% of the time we can work together and talk through issues. And so far, I did not have any reason at all not to trust her, so I still do. We both know what would be ideal. If we want to fight and continue with our marriage, she has to change her job. But right now, due to the nature of her job, she is a teacher, and it is very hard to find a decent school here to teach at. She is very reluctant to do that. I know this is a bad idea generally, but she promised she will cut out any personal communication with him. The problem is that guy is sitting in the same office, and they inevitably meet every day. I told her she can try, but it is my gut feeling this is going to turn out to be a disaster, so I might give her an ultimatum later. I haven't decided yet, partly because first I have to put my mind straight about our marriage, if I actually want to continue it or not. Not because of the affair, but because of the problems that surfaced. I think this affair is a symptom, not a problem. She said she has been looking for reasons why she married me in the first place, but right now she cannot see any good things. She only sees our differences. So the only reason she is staying with me right now is because she has made her vows, so she is going to keep herself to them, however much it hurts to see the prospect of another better life in front of her. She is hoping that in time she will forget the feelings from this affair and relive the feelings she had with me back in the days. There must be something that brought us together, she said. This in itself sounds very mature and almost unbelievable to be true. I think she is thinking that way because she has some religious core beliefs and thinks that a marriage is sacred, and she loves me so much that I cannot comprehend. Yes, we were both definitely in love, but that in itself is not enough to keep the marriage together. But I'm wondering whether dedication, communication, and hard work added to the initial love is enough. Or does it only work if you have matching personal traits and matching life goals? She said I'm not putting enough emotional effort into our relationship. She feels alone, unappreciated, and a lot of times not being understood. This is the first time in 6 years that she openly said things like that. But she always felt somewhat this way. Her recent affair just made these feelings stronger. Partly I knew about this, but I did not think it was so bad. Or is this simply exaggerated by her recent advisor? But generally I think this is not completely my fault, because I have an avoidant attachment type, and she has the anxious one, which combination, I recently learned, is not a good idea. She said she was not mature enough when she made her choice. She saw me as an introvert but very intelligent man who would never be able to cheat on her. That's why she chose me, and because she did not want to be alone. She literally moved from her parents to my house, never lived alone and independently. I chose her because it felt so good that someone cares about me. I had quite low self-esteem back then due to social isolation. She did very, very good about caring for me in those 9 years of being together. I didn't notice any of her struggles. But she also said if she had to decide now, she definitely would not choose me. So now the question arises, are we fundamentally incompatible and made a bad choice 6 years ago? Or does this idea of a sacred marriage actually work in the long term? I guess a prerequisite for that would be that both Perrys believe in it. But I can't believe this 100% right now. I mean, we get along very good. As roommates with some extras, sex has always been really good. But our personality is at least 80% different if you look at hobbies, interests, sense of humor, need for emotional support, spiritual views, me being an atheist, long-term plans, etc. She also said she's afraid I won't be a good father, so maybe she doesn't want babies from me at all. Because I'm always alienated by babies. I mean, I'm sure I want kids, but the truth is, I'm really afraid how we can handle the burdens and how I can support my wife during those hard days. I know I'm very vague emotionally, on the border of having Asperger's. That's something I just can't change. Imagine someone who is a lighter version of Sheldon Cooper. Now it's up to me to decide. She said she wants to live with me no matter what, but I don't want our relationship to be so single-sided. I think I love her, but for me talking about my emotions and understanding them is very hard. The only way I can cry, for example, is listening to music. Comment 1 from user proper fan 8006. Exactly. He is only prolonging the end of things. You have to have love, commitment, trust, respect, and common life goals, along with compatible sex drives to have a long, healthy relationship. If any of those pieces are missing, the relationship is eventually coming apart at the seams. Too many stay in a bad situation because they love the person. Also, people fear the unknown and are too worried they won't find someone else. It's better to be on your own with the potential for meeting the right person than be with someone you know truly isn't invested or committed long term. Eventually, that person will be drawn out. She already has been, and you are likely just a placeholder. Comment 2 from user Rockin' Frenzy. OP's wife starts off by telling them she has feeling for this man that go way beyond anything she has ever felt for him. That she has no idea what she ever saw in her husband. That she doesn't know why she married him. But if she had to guess, it was because she didn't want to be alone and decided to settle for him. And people are saying they need marriage counseling. Are y'all fucking nuts? That's some of the most hurtful shit I've ever heard of on this site. In order to save a relationship, there has to be one to save. I'm not quick to tell people to get divorced, while it seems like a knee-jerk for most Reddit comments, because I've been my wife 13 years, and I know relationships can be hard. Sometimes things that look insurmountable from the outside are worth fighting for, and people can work things out. But the above scenario is what? She doesn't like her husband, cannot think of a single reason to stay with him besides they made a vow in a wedding ceremony? The idea that she takes the vow seriously in and of itself is a joke, because if she did, she wouldn't have married OP in the first place. OP, it sounds like you never even had a relationship. You had a roommate who you had sex, W, and combined finances, maybe. Just assuming who tolerated you because it was convenient. The emotional affair isn't even the actual transgression here. People can't control if they catch feelings, it happens. They can control their actions. While she chose not to get physical, she revealed that she essentially doesn't care about her husband and apparently never did. How could anyone stay W someone who, after 6 hours of marriage, says they have no idea why they married them, except maybe if they had to guess they didn't want to be alone? Edit to add, one doesn't have to even moralize the situation here and prescribe blame or shame on either person here. These people just have zero reason to stay together. Clearly they have none. How could anyone respect themselves if they stayed with someone who told them they felt this way? Comment 3 from user If You Were In Your Shoes, this op. It is hard to see the forest through the trees when you're in the middle of it. That is what she is doing right now while in limerence. I would say to her this: he can have you. There is a reason he is divorced, and you are about to be. You are free to do what you want, as you are single, as I am filing for divorce under adultery. I won't play a pick-me game with you. You are either all in or all out. I won't be called a mistake you made. Then I would call her family, your family and your close friends in front of her. Let them know you are filing, why you are filing, and name her AP. That makes their relationship real. Tell her to move out and go live with him and make their relationship real and known. And fool yourself by telling everyone this marriage was a mistake like you just told me. But understand this, once you leave, we are done forever. There is no going back, because I know it will be a disaster once the limerence and rose-colored glasses fall off. Now she is having to play the pick-me dance. Comment 4 from user Oak Breakfast 9531. The good news is that she caught herself, understood what was happening, and came clean without much trickle truth. This is rare, as emotional affairs are much like the story of how to boil a frog. Dump the frog in boiling water and they jump out. Slowly turn up the heat, and the frog is boiled without ever realizing what is happening. So for her to recognize that she had crossed the line without anything physical happening speaks to her self-knowledge, which is usually missing from the seriously wayward. The bad news is the inability to go no contact. She will continue to have trouble re-engaging in the marriage with daily contact. You will have trouble going all in on reconciliation, as you will suffer from situational anxiety every day when she goes to work. No contact isn't a punishment or a consequence. It's a way to ensure feelings start to fade, and the betrayed partner feels safe. So I would say that a good deal of her ambivalence could be due to the continued contact. If you're in the U.S., you've got another 3 months of the school year. That's a lot. I highly recommend that the two of you sit down and read Shirley Glass's book, Not Just Friends Together. It is the best book out there on workplace affairs that, of course, start as emotional affairs. She not only explains how they happen, she explains how to recover and prevent. Glass, of course, recommends no contact. If the two of you agree that she can't just quit, you'll have to work hard on finding other ways to help you feel safe. How can she be even more transparent? How can she set really good limits at work that you can verify? Measures to rebuild trust will be key. Good luck. Update. Hey folks, as this is my first post on Reddit, I'm quite overwhelmed by the amount of responses I got, thank you. I find some of the responses like dump her straight away or she def fucked her outright hilarious. You guys have obviously never been in a committed, honest, and close relationship. We spend almost our entire adult, independent life together, which means we are intertwined in every aspect of our life, with a lot of happy memories, a house that we spent countless hours working to be our own home, 4 pets, etc. You would think and think and think again and again if it is worth fighting for. Separation would mean 8 years of our life thrown out of the window. I could only imagine this if I sold everything I had and moved to a different country, starting from scratch again. I'd only do this if I got to the point of being desperate. Ending a relationship like this is impossible to do overnight. I still respect and trust her so much that I believe what she says. Maybe she alters some details, but that's fine. She said many times that she wants to continue. Right now, I feel like I'm the one that has more doubts. I've always been the one who has had commitment issues. Now my situation is worsened, especially because her coworker is still there in her life. And she's going to have a hard, if not impossible, time recovering from the EA. We both made mistakes and we both acknowledged it. But that's not enough to keep this marriage from falling apart. I started therapy, first time in my life. I hope it somewhat helps, but either way, this is going to be a long journey for both of us. We both know that being young and unexperienced, we created a classic example of the anxious avoidant trap. That is why it would have been wiser not to choose each other. But we are here now. What happened has already happened, and why would we just throw this away before at least trying to fix it? No marriage is perfect. We'll keep you updated if something meaningful happens. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. See you again.